Hello and welcome back to Buckle Up. I'm Harry King and this is a Hyundai i20N. It's coming for your crown, Fiesta ST. So as usual, we begin here at the front where you can see you've got this nice sporty grille with what look almost like checkered flags in it. You've got this low red highlight above a diffuser splitter thing. It's not actually like a full-on splitter, but it looks cool. To make it an N, they've gone boom, all of this, wider tyres, more grip and more space for the engine. A 1.6 turbocharged unit with 204 PS. So plenty of power basically. Okay, so now moving down the side, I'm actually going to start with something that's sort of part of the front. But there's intakes here in the bumper that come out here round the wheels to smooth the air around these lovely 18-inch alloys. They're clad in Pirelli P0s, and look at those brakes. Great big brakes. Performance car brakes. Now moving further down the side, you get to see the lovely colour contrast roof. So this is a white car with a black roof. Black's the only colour contrast colour, so if you buy a black car, you're just getting a black roof. You've also got lower down this red accent again that ties into the accents at the front. This is obviously styled to look like more aero, but it's actually just cladding. And then you've also got these jagged body lines that sort of tie into some other cars in Hyundai's range. The Tucson comes to mind. Right here at the back, you've got the side of the rear light, which has a lovely i20 badge in it. Nice that. So now around here at the back, and you've got this spoiler again. It's a hot hatch, it's got these performance car bits. I'm not sure how much this is actually doing, but the important thing is it's there, so everyone knows that you're faster than them. You also got these nice little strakes here on the side of the boot, and the boot lid itself is also colour contrasting to the bodywork. You then have a light bar which separates back into the body colour. You also here have your reversing camera. Sorry, there's some geese. Do you want to just show the geese? Shut up. Okay. Right, away from the geese, back to the car. So you've got your red highlight again around the back of here, and also diffuser stylings. You've also got a nice central fog light that sort of reminds you of the central brake light on an F1 car or something. Of course, your actual brake light's up here. And a very, very big dual exit oval exhaust that makes quite a nice noise. So as you can see, all of the changes to the exterior of this car over the i20 are really focused on showing, displaying the performance that lies underneath. But what performance lies underneath the boot lid? Oh, it's a boot. Decent sized, because the wheels are so big, you don't have a spare tyre, you've got your goo and stuff in here. You've got a little latch on this side, and that's about it. Apart from this one cool thing. So if I unhook the parcel shelf, if you want to come in close for this, you can then do this little trick where you slide that forwards, and look at that. It hides away the back of the boot. Let's go inside. Okay, so then onto the back seats. First things first, the space back here is genuinely incredible. Now, in most cars in this segment, I can't sit up straight, I don't have space for my knees, and in here I have both. This seat is in my driving position, my knees just fit in behind it, and I've got just the tiniest amount of headroom. If I sit up super straight, I'm against the ceiling, but really for sitting normally, it's completely fine. It is fairly sparse back here. You can tell that this is based on a small hatchback. You've got a USB port down here, a seat back pocket, and some door pockets. No sort of dedicated cup holders. There's no centre armrest pull down, but you do have a couple of handy features as well. You've got little bits on the doors for putting the seatbelt in for when you fold the seats down, and you've got zip covers for the Isofix, which means you won't lose any plastic covers. So that's quite handy. Otherwise, all the fun stuff's up front, so let's go there now. Okay, and now into the front, and this is where the fun really begins. We'll start with material. So the seats are made from this kind of coarse, hard-wearing material, apart from the bolsters at the side, which are made from a sort of vinyl. And then they've got integrated headrests, and the overall feel is both functional and sporty. It's very focused and I like it, but they're still very comfortable. If you were much taller than me, you might struggle with the headrests on these seats. It is getting to the point where it's maybe just only not high enough for me. Around the rest of the interior, you've got soft touch around here on the doors where your arm would rest. You've got soft material here on the center armrest. You've got soft material here around the steering wheel, and it's nice and grippy. Heated steering wheel, by the way, very premium. And speaking of the steering wheel, so you've got two N buttons. One just does drive mode, the other one does your N mode. And you've also got a custom setting in there for if you want to have, say, comfort steering, but full balls to the wall accelerator or whatever. You've also got a lovely Adonai style red button here, which feels like a missile fire button, but that's to turn on and off your automatic rev matching. So basically it's like, make me look like a hero button. You've also got your general stuff, infotainment, driving assists, headlights and indicators, and your windscreen wipers. Obviously, both your lights and your wipers are automatic. You do have cruise control. And then to the infotainment itself, the screen is massive. It's huge. And there's two, because also your driver's display is digital. So there's just screens everywhere, and they're excellent. They're quite configurable. So you've got a nice, lots and lots of menus on here. You can select your navigation, your phone, all that stuff. You also get lots of information in the gauge cluster in N mode. You've got a G meter in this car. A G meter. Every car should have a G meter. Endless fun. Practicality. You've got a cubby down here, which is like a non-slip surface. It's also a wireless charger, so it's a great place to put your phone, because also the USBs for the mirroring are down here. There's also just a general power USB and a 12-volt socket, so all of your power needs are met down there. You've then got two cup holders of slightly differing sizes, depending if you've got a skinny can or a larger bottle. You've also got bottle holders in the door pockets, which are then very large themselves. You've got a nice, good-sized glove box, plenty of space for the owner's manual, and it is damped, which is a nice touch. You've also got a pleasantly damped center console storage, not massive, but big enough for some sunglasses or something like that, somewhere to keep that kind of thing. Also, it's worth mentioning that your aircon controls are separate to the screen, although you do have some extra ones in the screen. You've got a climate screen there, but then your temperature, your fan, your direction for the blower, recircle, all of that stuff is here, and your heated seat buttons are down by the gear stick. So all of that is accessible with just a button push, which is really good as far as I'm concerned. Now the thing is, what's staring me in the face is this manual gear stick. And I think with that, it's time to go drive. Okay, so driving the Hyundai i20N. First things first, let's do performance. This is a hot hatch after all. So 204 PS, 203 pounds-feet. Those numbers are so comfortably close to each other, I'm going to go with pounds-feet today instead of Newton-meters. And a 0 to 62 time of 6.2 seconds. Which I think is ideal hot hatch territory. I think that's, for me, that's the performance you really want from one. Obviously, if you want more, go get some turbo, not a four-wheel drive thing from the Germans, or GR Yaris, that kind of whatever. But for just threading and having fun on British back roads, I think gives you a lot of time to play and have fun with the car while you're still driving within legal parameters. And I think that's important in a hot hatch, is that you can still have fun with it on the road. Though having said it's important to have fun on the roads, part of the great thing with this car, with N cars in general, is their warranty also applies to track use. So you can take this to a track and you'll still have your warranty, which is nice. That's nice of Hyundai to do that. It means that, you know, they're honest, they understand why people have cars like these, and they want to support their owners. I think that's a really great thing for a company to do, rather than, I feel it's almost disingenuous to sell someone a car like this and then be like, but if you drive it fast, then you're naughty. This is better. It pulls well, in all 6 gears. It's plenty of torque, and amusingly I have a little torque readout, but it only tells me in multiples of 10 my Newton meters, current Newton meters. I'm using 40, put my foot down, I'm 120 for lift off. I'm using 0, 100, 90, 70. Do this all day. Just look at the Newton meters. 3 psi of boost. So yes, actually let's move that on then. So performance is great. Figures. Your screen, your configurable screen. So you've got buttons here on the steering wheel, and these take you through your drive modes, or you've got a drive mode button down here by the gear stick. If I go through my normal drive modes, you've got normal, sport with nice red motif and carbon fiber stylings behind the instruments, and eco. Can't imagine many owners are using that a lot for this car, and then the right hand button, this is the fun button, you press that and you go into N mode, and suddenly you've only got one central instrument, it's a rev counter, and then your digital speedo, and you've got your oil temp, engine temps, turbo pressure and torque up on the screen at all times. It also automatically puts your stability control into sports mode, and it gives you rev matching. There's this lovely red adenoised, well, it's styled to look like an adenoised button on the steering wheel that gives you rev matching, so you can pretend to be a good driver if you listen. I've changed to third there. I'm not doing that, that's all the car. So lots of configurability there. There's also lots of stuff in the main screen. It's just Hyundai's normal infotainment system. I have already been through it on the Santa Fe video, link up there. But it's got everything you need. It's got a really great media integration. My phone connects straight away as soon as I get into the car, even if I'm not using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which it does have cable though. It's also got its own navigation, it's got all of the settings, it's got extra climate controls, but this does have real physical climate controls as well, which is what you want. I've also got heated seats, heated steering wheel, so there are nice luxury touches in here as well that make this one of the most livable hot hatches I can think of. Everything you need, the seats are comfortable, there's nice bolstering in them, you're stuck in place but they're not uncomfortable, they don't feel cramped or anything, even for someone of my size, but they even hold Jasper well. You know, that's a big scale of people who fit comfortably in this car and it feels suited for. That's really impressive actually. And the handling is sublime. My god. Unlike the i20N, where the car was made and then the N division went to town on it, this had input from the N division from the start, so they were able to specify things for the car's chassis from the get-go, and it really shows. It's such a together vehicle, and it really hangs on in corners much better than it has any right to. The chassis is so good, everything is so tied together. The gear shift, it's not the best gear shift in the world, but it is good, it's very good. And then to go along with that fantastic chassis, you've got brilliant steering. It's electronic steering in here, and it is configurable. As you change driving mode, the weight does change. Personally, there's no adaptable dampers on this, right? It's fixed spring rates. So I've been driving in N mode all the time because there's no downside. Usually when you put a car in a sporty mode, the downside is the ride is very stiff. The ride in this, it is, you know, it's sporty, but it's also just really well judged on the basis they knew that it was going to be a fixed rate. So it's not crashy, it's usable. All of this car is so eminently usable. I just can't think of a better car if you just want to blast around B roads and you also need enough space for 4 people, or, you know, to get the weekly shopping. This is everything a hot hatch should be. Everything. They've nailed it. Hyundai have come out of nowhere, and their first generation of hot hatchbacks are astounding. Brakes are great too. Lovely pedal feel, nice and stiff, progressive, and you know, they work very well. They'll definitely bring you to a stop. And you know, if you are a better driver than I am, if you want to turn off rev matching and heel and toe, the pedals are spaced so that you're able to do that if you want, but also they're put in a dead pedal, so if you're going on a long motorway cruise, stick on the cruise control, just go for it. It's a jack of all trades. It's a jack of all trades, and still also a master of being, I mean, I can't think of a front wheel drive car in this segment that will best this around a track. The Fiesta ST is great, don't get me wrong, but this is just, I don't know, it's more tied together. That's a fun hot hatchback. This is a fun hot hatchback that'll also put down a blistering lap time, be comfortable to live with every day. It'll even get 40 mpg. Like, why would you buy any other hatch? Because the value is great as well. You get one of these for 25 grand. Yes, there is a wait, but there's a wait because they're bloody brilliant. People will queue up to buy one of these, and it just never fails to put a smile on my face. It's the right size. Just thread it down a road like this. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. If you're in a normal driving mode and you come to a bendy road, curvy road, fun road, the little prompt will pop up saying, "Hey, looks like you're on a good driver's road. Would you like to go into N mode?" The car says to you, "Hey, come on, we could have more fun here." That's amazing. I love that. A car that says, "Hey, come on, let's have more fun." As so many cars move to automation, automatic gearboxes, excessive driver aids, like a removal of the driver from the equation, this throws you right in and it says, "Come on, push yourself a bit harder. You can do it. I believe in you." It's just a fabulous piece of kit. I honestly, if it were my own money, I can't think of a car for this price, brand new, that I would rather buy. This is where my money would go. Excellent work by Hyundai and the N division. Right. With that said, let's reflect and conclude. Oh. So, the Hyundai i20N. It's got everything you'd want on the outside. Cool styling, big, sporty elements. It's got everything you'd want on the inside. Comfortable seats, all of the tricks and toys you could want. There's enough space for 4 people and their stuff. And it's 25 grand. If you want a super mini-sized hot hatch, it's very hard to see why you wouldn't immediately go test drive one of these. I mean, come on, guys. Cheaper than the Mini, faster than the Fiesta, available, unlike the GR Yaris. Go get one. Just go get one. They're great. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Please remember to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. You'll find all of our social media down in the description. You'll also find a couple of ways to support us. So we've got channel memberships, or we've got a merch store, so you can go buy some cool, lovely merch. I've probably waggled around my microphone too much now. I'm sorry about that. But to buy it. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next time.